was telling me about how the enemy would try to come in and hack into your system. The reason why he wants to hack into your system is to steal your identity. Look at somebody and tell them, I refuse to let go who I am.
I refuse to let go who I am.
He wants to take your position and your place. And as I was reading this, the Lord says, time out for letting things disconnect us. Well, Brother Reggie, you mind if I use what we talked about? We was talking the other night. I ain't going to be long because I don't want to get into what he's got for me Sunday. We was talking the other night, and I was sitting there talking. I said, you know what? We got to get to the place where we got to refuse to give the enemy our authority. Yeah. We got to refuse to turn things over in order to do things for somebody else. We got to learn to stay connected. We got to learn to refuse to let the enemy convince us that it's time to turn our authority over to somebody else. Watch this. We was talking, and I was telling him about the message. He said, you know what, Pastor? He said, sometimes the phone get disconnected. It get disconnected. Watch this. And you always got to pay your bill. Tell somebody you always got to pay your bill. You never want to talk on the phone where your bill ain't paid. Watch this. You won't get the full service. And we was talking, what did he tell me? What made me start rejoicing about what he said is when he said, Pastor, when the phone has been turned off and the service is no longer there and you can't operate on it. He said the one thing you can do is dial 911. But watch this. God will never leave you without a way out. That's right. Even when you're not getting the signal, God said all you have to do is dial 911. Watch this. You can't call nobody else. And here's what I love about it. Because sometimes he has to get you in a position where you can't call nobody else. That you can't talk to nobody else. That you can't reach nobody else. Because there has to be some time when you have to spend some time with him alone. So God says, since you want to talk to everybody, I'm going to disconnect you. I'm going to cut your service off. And I'm only going to leave you with the 911. So in case you get to the place where you get to the pits of hell and you can't get out and you can't call boo and you can't call your BFF and you can't call your, and God said just dial 911. This is where I want you so you can dial 911 to talk to me. Watch this. Don't let anybody cut you off. Don't let your own self disconnect yourself from the will of God. Let me tell you something. I feel in my spirit that God is about to do something awesome, fantastic. That's why you see me always trying to prepare for what he's trying to do. Can I tell you this? We got a guest coming. Y'all think I'm talking about a physical guest. We got a guest that is about to visit this place. My God. I'm trying to prepare that when he comes, he have no opposition to face. But everybody is on the same network. Operating on the same phone. What's that? Who can give me the definition of network? Network. Give me the definition right quick. Ain't gonna be long, I'm finna go. Give me the definition of network.
To a source.
Really loud, Pam.
I'm just saying something connected to a source, and that's all I get. It's just connected to a source, connected to a source,
It is a group or organization that is connected to a source with the prime objective to send out. A network is one that is developed and built not to hold in but to release to others. Our job is to be the connectors or the towers that is to send out the message from the provider. And what I love about it, the enemy cannot check. What's this? Let me do this right quick. Where's my mic? Is the mic? I said I wasn't going to use the mic. Cut it on the corner right quick. We almost ready to go. Everybody stay connected. Stay connected. Now, let me do this. We get up. What I love about these mics is that they eliminate limitation. They eliminate movement. Watch this. They will allow you to move without being tied down. Somebody shout wireless.
Wireless.
That means it doesn't matter where I go. Give me somebody. Come here, Leo, help me out. That means it doesn't matter where I go, I can still use this. As long as I know I'm close to the provider. Watch this now. Come up here. It doesn't matter what the enemy does to shut me off. Come on, wave on my mic. It doesn't matter what he tried to do. Now watch this. He cannot cut me off at the source. Because there is no wire connected to where I am. Right. So it eliminates what he's trying to do. I don't care if he's jumping and covering. It doesn't matter. If I can get to it. If I can get to it.
Yes. Hallelujah.
Look at somebody and tell them if you can get to it. You'll get an answer.
You'll get an answer.
God said it doesn't matter where you go. David was praying, he said, look, Lord, I got enemies that's trying to set me up. Yes. I got them trying to set up traps. I got them trying to talk about me. I got them trying to do things. It's right in the book. I would read it, I ain't got time. He said, they're trying to set me up. He said, but the Lord said, look, stop worrying about your enemy and remember that wherever you go, I go. Yes. And whatever place you be in, I'm there. Why? Because we're connected. Yes. You ain't got to worry about how far under you go. Yes. Because I am the provider. Yes. I'll get to you. Tell somebody, I'm coming up out of this one. I'm coming up out of this. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because now I understand I am connected. Yes. I am hooked up. I'm connected with the right source. Wireless provider. Ain't got to worry about what people say. Ain't got to worry about how they try to cut me off. I know I'm connected. Somebody tell me they ain't going to change. They ain't gonna change. So when I dropped the call, I had to try to call her back. And here I am trying to position myself to get a connection. If you got to, here's something I want to say. If you connect with something that is disconnected, it will disconnect you. Touch somebody and tell them, don't associate with anything that is disconnected.
Don't associate with anything that is disconnected.
Because it will disconnect you.
Because it will disconnect you.
Watch this. Here we go. Go to Numbers 20 and 11. God said, what I'm going to do, I'm about to restore your service. Look at somebody and tell them God is about to reconnect me.
God is about to reconnect.
Watch this. I got an earpiece. Give me 5 minutes. I got an earpiece that I use in my ear. And when I leave my phone here, y'all know, yes. If I get too far out of range, it won't let me know that it's disconnected. I think I'm still hooked up. And when I go to use it, there is no service. It'll say out of range. Look at somebody and tell them we got to get back in range.
We got to get back in range.
And when I get back in range, it says connected. Because there are a lot of times the enemy will strive to disconnect us and we don't even know it. Watch this. We got the earpiece and think because we got the earpiece, we are connected. Yes. But the further away you get from the source, yes. The further away you get from your supplier or your provider, the less strength that it has, unless you hooked up to the right one. Yes. Watch this. Go to Numbers 20 and 11. I'm finna get out of here. 20 and 11. Somebody get it and read it loud for me.
Then Moses raised his arm and struck the rock twice with his staff. Water gushed out in the community, and their livestock drank.
Watch this. What you don't want the enemy to get you to do is to miss out going into the promise. Because he'll disconnect you. Watch this. It's a sad thing to look at where you was going instead of going into where you was going. Yeah. It's a sad thing to see how awesome where you were going is and never make it there.
Never make it there.
It's a sad thing if God just walked you up to the tip of where you was headed to, and all you could do was just look at it. Wow. Ooh. God said, look, Moses, because you allowed them to disconnect you, you won't go into it. All you can do is just see it.
Hallelujah.
You'll never make it into the promise. Touch somebody and tell them, I got to learn how not to be disconnected.
I have to learn how not
Watch
to be
this.
disconnected.
All the years that he walked with God, all the years that he stayed with him and knew what God can do and seen the move of God and allowed. Watch this. Tell somebody, don't let your job, don't let your duty. Now this one goes to me. Don't let what you're supposed to do disconnect you. The Bible said the Lord told him to cause to smote the rock or speak to the rock. Speak to the rock. And the water come. Instead of him speaking, he hit it twice. And watch this. It says the water came out in abundance. But what I love about this, because this is to pastors and to me, the Lord didn't jump on him right there. No. When the water was coming out, he pulled him to the side. He said, Moses, check this out. He said, because you didn't do what I asked you to do, he said, you won't go into the promise. You will only be able to look at it. When you get disconnected, if the enemy disconnects you, he can prevent you from going over into your promise. He can only let you look at where you wanted to go. Touch somebody and tell them, I want to stay connected. I want to stay connected. Yes, I do. Woo. You never want to get to the place where God said, because of what you did or you didn't do, you're disconnected. And he said, everything that I see now, everything that goes on, if you look at everything in this world, you will understand that everything was built to be connected. Watch this. Buzzards are the ugliest creatures, but they got a purpose for things that are dead. They become scavenger hunters. What? They clean up the highway. Connected. Government has said, and the Lord said, the reason why I'm trying to do this is to get the churches to see that if the churches can be connected, nothing would be impossible. If all the churches and the pastors can get together, not only can we rule, but we can buy up and become, because now we got to understand, if we can get together instead of pushing apart, everybody trying to get in their own zone. Everybody trying to get in their own zone, and nobody has enough power to get a connection. Everybody's searching. Watch this. And that's what the enemy wants. He wants you to look for something. Watch this. You got the device to receive it. Yes. But you're not positioned to get it. You're not connected with the right source to find what? It looks nice, and it got a nice ring to it. And you can hear it when it rings. But when you pick it up, there is no response. This church is connected. It has a relationship with God that he's about to do something out of the norm. I'm going to have to stop now because I don't want to go into the message for Sunday because it's great. I want y'all to go home and read the Our Father's Prayer. Go home and read that. See what you can get out of it. Because when I read it, it was as if God opened it up to me, and I never seen it this way before. If you get the right understanding of it, you're going to walk in here Sunday knowing really that you're awesome. And and that you are powerful, and that you are strong, and that God does dwell with you, and that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Watch this. The reason why the enemy try to fight us is because we connected. How you know, Pastor? Because everybody that comes through the ministry, they say it's something that draws me. Watch this. Connection draws.
Yes.
It pulls. It calls people to want to be a part of something that's doing something. Instead of trying to disconnect, when I come in and don't want to sit by First Lady, look at somebody and tell them we're going to do it right this time.
We're going to do it right this time.
I'm finna be finished.